Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you my first T7 Infernal Horde clear, and I'm going to be going over the issues that are currently plaguing Companion Druid this season. So first off, there is an issue with Thunderstruck and Ranks to Wolves on your Storm's Companion pants. I know it does not seem like a big deal, but it is legitimately a 100% damage loss that you're missing because of bugs. Each Ranks to Wolf is 5% damage, so if it's not masterworking right, you could be missing out on 30% damage or more. Combine that with the fact Thunderstruck is still not working properly, and you get a 90% minimum damage loss because of these bugs. The next issue is there is a ton of power that comes from gearing, and it's hard to get what you need. Ranks to Wolves on a helmet is pretty hard to find. Even when you try to reroll and enchant it on there, it's still hard to find. I am hundreds of millions of gold in. I have played hours and hours every day since season launch, and I still do not have just the 3 rank one that's solid that I can just masterwork. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Then when you factor in masterworking, all of a sudden you're 250 million into a 20 reset helm. So on top of the fact that I only found like a 2 rank helm, I decided, alright, whatever, I'll try to masterwork it anyway. And then before you know it, I'm 300, 250, 300, 350 million, however much. I've honestly lost track, but it's in the hundreds of millions, right? That I have spent resetting this thing. And if you don't get those masterworks, you lose 15 to 20% damage. Then when you look at the amulet, you need quick shift, 24% damage, envenom, that's going to give you 30% damage. Call the Wild is going to give you 84% damage. So if you don't have a good amulet, you're missing 140% damage. Then you have to masterwork that as well. On your Wild Heart Hunger, you also need to masterwork that, otherwise you're going to lose 24% damage reduction and 12% move speed from your heightened senses passive. So they need to take a look at masterworking, as I don't really know how the average player affords to masterwork. Not only that, because the whole amulet issue and the masterworking issue, that applies to every class. That's not just necessarily a Companion Druid only thing. The main issue with Companion Druid is the ranks to wolves on helmet is way too hard to find. On top of that, when you factor that in with the masterworking, it is just so hard to get a good helmet, and because it's so hard to get a good helmet, whereas other classes don't really have to worry about that, you're missing out on a ton of damage by not having a good helmet. Right? Same thing with Thunderstruck, etc., etc. So, not only that, there's also a bug with Etheric Masses for Companion Druid, and that is causing it to where you can't, you'll see it in this video because it happens in this video, but sometimes you'll try to target the Etheric Masses and your wolves just won't go off. They just won't jump. So there's a bug with that too. So there's like a functionality buff going on. I mean, don't get me wrong, Companion Druid is way, way stronger this season. Like, it is 100% stronger, but it's still not as strong as it should be because of bugs. And then you also have those functionality issues that just can kind of make it feel a little unfun to play. And then when you think about how hard Tier 7 and Tier 8 is, you really need to have good gear to be able to clear these. You need to have all these multipliers, because I can clear T7 relatively quick on a Companion Druid now because I have better gear than what you see in this video now. But that being said, to clear a T8, you're not going to be able to clear a T8 fast until they fix those bugs, and that's kind of a problem, because you would be able to clear a T8, not as fast as a Lightning Sword, not as fast as the Storm Slide Druid, I don't think. But you would be able to, like, reasonably farm Tier 8 if you had these buffs. And unfortunately, because they're not there and you're missing that damage, it's not a survivability issue. You can survive very easily. The issue is just damage. Like, you just don't have enough damage to kill things fast enough to trigger the events and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's unfortunate, but it is true. And when it comes to this whole, issue with masterworking, kind of circle back around on that, it just feels demoralizing when you spend days in Infernal Hordes just to waste all of the gold you made in a matter of 30 minutes of failing to get the rolls you need on your item. I have spent close to 800 million across all my gear, and I am not triple master worked on everything. I actually think I only have one piece of gear that is actually triple master work. And that's like after I'm spending that much gold. That just seems a little ridiculous. Like, because you need to remember too, last season the masterworking costs were the same, but we didn't have a way to generate this much gold like we do now with Infernal Hordes. So what happens when we don't have this good of a way to farm gold? Like, people just aren't going to want to masterwork. It's a very big issue. But anyways, so unfortunately for this reason, until they fix the bugs, I probably won't be doing a whole lot more of Companion Druid for the season. I am still going to clear a T8 and post it, but there's another bug with the pit boss health currently, so it's making it to where like I was doing a 129 and I was actually able to clear the 129 in terms of like clearing the dungeon very easily, even with the bugs missing all this damage. But then I get to the boss, and the boss is like this unkillable wall. And I know you might say saying, oh, well, that's just because Companion Druid isn't that strong. No. I brought in my Lightning Spear Sork friend to do it. He did maybe 5% of its health after an ungodly amount of time, right? Like, and then on top of that, and Companion Druid, in terms of boss killing, is rated as A tier. The boss should be the easiest part of the pit for the Druid, for the Companion Druid. Like, really, it should be, because it's a very, very good boss killer. Then I brought in my other friend that was playing like some type of, I was playing a rogue. Still couldn't. Still, it was the same thing. For whatever reason, once you start getting into those high tier ones, 129s, 130, the boss health gets astronomical. And it's to the point where, I mean, yeah, if they want to leave the health like that, cool, I guess, but it's just odd because in my mind, you shouldn't be able to even unlock the boss if that tier is still out of your reach, right? Like, why would they make it so you have the damage to do that, but you don't have the damage to kill the boss? It's like, it's pretty much putting like a, if you suck at bossing, you're gonna pretty much get stuck in the pit, and I don't think it should be that way. I think there's a lot of builds that aren't going to be very good at bossing, so they should reduce health. So even if it makes it to where it takes those builds longer, right, they can still clear it. But my build should not be taking that long, right? I have what is considered to be a good bossing, like a very good bossing build with like lower clear speed, where like clearing speed or something like that, or like AoE is more my issue, right? So yeah, so unfortunately, I am still going to post a tier 8 though, and if they do fix the boss things, I will be switching back to Companion, and I'll definitely like try to push on the pits, but right now there's too many bugs for me to like realistically continue playing Companion Druid, and they didn't drop a patch yet today because it's Tuesday as of recording this. And so if they drop a bug, let's say like a surprise fix in the next couple days, all this changes, right? But I'm just letting you guys know what my plans are now. So you guys can expect some Storm Slide stuff. I also have been gearing up in Andariel's Rogue. I've pretty much been gearing up the best builds because right now it's actually a really good meta for me because like all of the top builds are actually things I enjoy. My favorite builds on Rogue are Marksman builds. Well, the best build is a Barrage build, right? It's Barrage Andariel's. The best build for Sorcerer is a Lightning Spear build that utilizes unstable currents and like just throwing things around. That's actually the playstyle I like. I'm a big fan of unstable currents and the lightning stuff. I wasn't as big of a fan of ball lightning, but I like the ones where like I like the spears just go flying around everywhere. Like I like that ability. So the fact that's good right now. So overall, the season's great for me in terms of like, you know, Companion Druid did get stronger. There's a lot of really cool builds. The thing I didn't like about Lightning Storm originally in the old Lightning Storm build, the way it was ran, was you had to kind of stand still, and it was really, really awkward. So, but now that's not really the case. Now you're just pressing Landslide and doing stuff like that, because I didn't really mind the Landslide stuff, and that's going to cast the Lightning Storm. So there's a lot of really fun builds that are really good out there. And then I also saw that they also buffed Bloodlance Necro, and I actually am a big fan of Bloodlance too. That actually went up like quite a bit on most tier lists that I looked at. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I also want to try out Minion Necro, and then I even want to see what's going on with the Bone Spirit. I don't know if I'm going to like that build, but I figured it'd be fun to play. So expect a lot of stuff for other classes coming up, and then hopefully they do fix the Companion Druid build, because I was actually looking forward to pushing in the pit and seeing how far I could take and showing that to you guys. But and the same thing with, you know, seeing how fast, even if it's not like the most efficient thing, how fast of a clear speed I could get Companion Druid on T8 of the Infernal Hordes. But yeah, we're going to need to get these bugs fixed, but that's okay. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I am going to just go ahead and leave the rest of this clear here just for you guys to see. This was a clear when I did not have that much gear. I was missing a few things. I was missing a bunch of stats. I think my Wild Heart Hunger was min-rolled at 30%. You know, stuff like that. I don't think I had Ethereal's Might yet either. But yeah, that's, but this is going to be, yeah, but this is clear. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.